In the book, James Emery White, he kind of touches on this idea of translation, not transformation. And I think that's pretty cool because it's something that I think I need to understand more, and so do maybe some other people too. But he's basically saying that instead of kind of changing the Bible in a way that just to get more people in the door, it's wrong to do it that way. And I'm pretty sure he says in the book just to get a little tickle in the ear, which is kind of funny. But he's right though. I mean, I've never been like conflicted by this. I've always tried to, preach it in the right way and stuff. But and I've actually been pretty bad about just giving it straightforward and kind of having people not really like hearing that, obviously, because he wants to hear that they're wrong about something. But instead, what we should do, instead of either giving it like that or giving it giving it in a way of like, like bluntness, or in a way that's accepting to the culture and stuff, is that we should give it in a translated way that they can understand and that makes sense to them, but it isn't going against the Bible. And he kind of touches on this again in chapter 6. And I mean, he might not have done it on purpose, but I kind of saw a little bit of a connection when he starts talking about Peter in Acts 2 and Acts 17. And in Acts 2, he says that Peter is preaching to a group of God-fearing people. And so he's telling them, hey, you know about creation, you know about the laws of Moses, you know about all this stuff, and you know about Jesus' resurrection. And this is what you have to believe. Because you know all of this, you know it's true. This is what you're hearing, like, this is what's going on. But then in Acts 17, we hear about a completely different kind of Peter, almost like it's a completely different story than what we hear in Acts 2. And in Acts 17, he's talking about basically he's translating, he's explaining it completely different, but in a way that they can understand, because he's understand that those people it was in I believe it was in Greece, or an area where they have a million different gods and stuff, it seems like. I mean, they have a ton of different gods. People believe all sorts of different things, and opposed to what Peter believes. So when he went to preach it, he kind of took it in a different way, and he explains it deeper, which is something that I kind of struggle with. Is I just tell it, and I don't explain any of it. And so what he does with them is he explains, like creation. He explains everything in detail, and why he believes what he believes, and why Jesus came for us, and all that stuff. And I think it's just really cool, and something that I can really apply to my life, because I see myself not explaining things very well. And I just think it's something important that, I think everybody should really try to do, is explaining things in detail. Because a lot of people, when they hear misinformation, or they hear something they don't understand, they label it as misinformation and they get opposed to it right away. When we could stop that by explaining, like, here's what happened, but let me tell you what happened before that, even, so that you understand why that was happening. And I just think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know, I just like to share that.